Views. 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 Yeah.
Who is Patrick Peterson? Oldest of five. Married with a baby girl from Pompano Beach, Florida. And just a very, very humble, hardworking young man. 3 words to describe myself and why. One, I probably say patience. Because I play defensive back, you have to have patience at the position, especially the way I play. I love being in the receiver's face, love trying to disrupt that timing between him and the quarterback. Patience is one. 2 is grateful, just very, very grateful for the position that the great Lord has put me in, and just able to discover some of the things I've been able to discover in life so far. It's just been a huge, huge, huge blessing, and the family that He's blessed me with as well. 3 is always the toughest one to pick, but the 3rd word I would say that will describe me will probably be humble. Just very, very humble as well, because, you know, playing in this physical game, football, you never know when the game can be taken away from you. So had a lot of success in the early part of my career, and still having success, but don't really necessarily let that get to my head, because I understand, you know, it can be taken away from me like that. So just always living in the moment and just being just very, very humble and grateful for that, what the good Lord has blessed me with. My biggest role model growing up, and why, actually I have a couple role models. One of them being my grandfather, you know, being one of those, you know, father figures in my life. My dad was in my life as well, but my parents had me at a very, very young age. So I was around my grandparents a lot. You know, my mom had me at 17, my dad being 19. So those guys, my parents still was kids themselves. So having an opportunity to grow up around my grandfather, to watch how he took everything so serious and with a grain of salt, as far as being on time, as far as being responsible, making sure that you are the head of your household, taking care of your household. So watching my grandfather maneuver around the house and just how he interact with people at the church, in the community, something I always wanted to do. Even if I wasn't in the position that I am in today, just the way he treated people. 2 is my dad, because my dad helped me work extremely hard at whatever I wanted to be in life. So, you know, obviously my dreams and aspirations was wanted to be a football player and be a good football player. So growing up, my dad used to do a lot of things that other kids didn't do, normal kids didn't do growing up. You know, now, you know, the Nike football camps, the Under Armour camps, all those different football camps, we was doing that ourselves before they even had those things. So my dad always had me thinking about football, always had me, you know, thinking of my next move or what I wanted to be in the future. As far as I played every position on the football field growing up. Most kids don't do that, because they're like, I want to play this position. When you get older, you don't know how your body's gonna form out and what you're gonna end up playing on the college level. 3, as a football role model, Deion Sanders. You know, some of the things he was able to do coming out of college, I believe he transcended the game to a whole nother level, because, you know, the whole stereotype was that DBs can't catch, you know, and when you start seeing Deion returning punts, being on offense, returning interceptions for touchdowns, he's a very, very dynamic player. And those are some of the things I wanted to do if I was able to be half as good as he was. And, you know, when I finally tapped into my athletic ability, was doing some of the same things that he was doing. So I was like, you know, if he can do it, you know, I can too. And watching him play for the Cowboys growing up, for the 49ers, and just seeing all the success that he had everywhere he went, that's something that I wanted as well. So Deion is definitely my football role model. This is a true story. The first time I really knew I had an opportunity to play in the NFL was my sophomore season. I used to work out with my cousin Brian McFadden all the time, every summer, because he was in the NFL. He just got drafted into the NFL my sophomore season, so he was a rookie. So his first off season, him and a couple of his teammates, Ike Taylor, Darren Sharper, Will Gay, I mean, the list goes on. They used to work out in Orlando with Tom Shaw. And like I said, I'm 16 years old, warming up with these guys, but I had like the same body structure that these guys had, running just as fast as those guys, locking up NFL receivers. I was like, I think I got a shot at this. Like, put my talent up against grown men. And just the things that those guys used to say to me when I was growing, I was like, man, your ass need to be in the NFL right now, man. You ready for the league right now? But I was only 16, so when those guys was telling me that, I was like, oh yeah, the NFL's calling for me for sure. I definitely gonna. One day I will be there if I just stay on the straight path. Meaning, you still have to make sure that you're a student athlete, because you have to go to college if you want to be able to play into the pros. So I had to make sure that I had all my stuff, all my off the field issues together to make sure that I'm eligible to play football. And if I did everything that I needed to do to make sure that I was eligible, I knew I was going to be in the NFL one day. Other than football, Pat P love to golf. I love golfing because golfing actually, those three words that I said describe me is actually what you need to have in golf. You got to have patience. You have to be humble, and you just have to be able to count your blessings when you have opportunity to make those birdie putts, because birdie putts don't come around very often. So golfing is one of the sports, one of the hobbies that I literally can do until I'm 80 years old, something I can share with my kids. We can have golfs, because I already have it planned out now. If the good Lord bless me with a son, but me and Peyton would definitely be doing this. We're going to golf on Sundays. That's going to be our daddy, daughter, or if I have another kid, that's going to be our day to go out and just relax, dad have a couple drinks, and the girls, and like I said, if I get blessed with a boy, we just enjoy a round of golf, because I just think you can learn so much about people on the golf course. And I had the opportunity to learn a lot about a lot of folks on the golf course, so I believe that is a very, very true statement. If you didn't know, well, let me tell you why I am the person I am today. I can remember 2006 vividly, 2006 summer, that going into my sophomore season, me and my dad, we made like this pact, or this promise, that I wouldn't let my GPA or my academics be the cause of me not to be on the football field with my teammates. And I did not hold my end of the bargain, so I wasn't able to play football for the entire season of my sophomore year. And people who knows me know that football is very, very dear to me. I'd do anything to be on the football field under the lights with my brothers on the football field. But this particular year, I let my dad down. I broke our promise, and he pretty much took me off the football team. And what that taught me was that no matter how bad or how much you love something, it can be taken away from you within the blink of an eye. And going through that season, having to explain to people in the stands, because my dad made me go to every game, every playoff game. I really believe I was the reason why we did not go to the championship that year, because St. Thomas had a receiver named Leonard Hinkerson, and he had a huge game on us, and I was the best defensive back on the team as a sophomore, and I wasn't able to be out there with my brothers. So my dad made me go to every game, every playoff game, and literally tell everyone why I let my brothers down. And from that moment on, I didn't want to have that feeling anymore. I didn't want to have the game taken away from me off something I could control. So from that moment on, I always made sure I did everything the right way, made sure I did everything that I needed to do to be eligible, first and foremost. And secondly, I just let my athletic ability take over, and being, having the supporting cast I have around me with my teammates over the years, my parents, my friends, my family, it's helped me put everything in perspective, knowing that, what you love dearly can be taken away from you, and if you not controlling what you can control in the right manner, it's all on you. So I did not want that to happen again to me. I always wanted to be in control of my narrative, meaning, like I said, doing everything the right way, respecting everyone, and making sure that I'm on the field to help my team win football games. My name is Patrick Peterson, and I had to tell it.